Check-o-ring.
Motion if there's no questions.
Was there early water damage in the recorder's office, or wasn't it more just the paint or hearing damage?
Oh, I thought it was more water damage, but it's probably a combination of the two.
It's one of the last painting just didn't adhere to the.
The recorder's here, she's got all kinds of answers.
I've heard them both do kind of a little bit of, didn't feel very well. There was some damage also, so. But when they started chipping away, then big chunks would come down, more than they expected, so.
They were listening.
Okay, so we want to hear, that's fine.
Support. Anybody make a motion on that?
No, I'll make a motion. Okay. We have a motion, we have support. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Appointment of Shane Ellis as deputy and jailer.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support that. Go ahead.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Conservation exemption acres, that'll take a little bit, so. That always takes so much time.
Oh, yeah, then good to me. All right.
Right.
Wonder if Shannon's here, did much of a change from last year?
So that's close enough. Reggie, what do you got going?
Just getting ready for mowing season, and figured I would probably power wash around the monuments and clean the cement up around there, and yeah. Let's get it ready for summer, make it nice, I guess. I don't know how else to word it. There's some concrete that has to be patched up, gonna go out to H&H and see when they're gonna get at it.
Okay. Got an air conditioner on that mower? Got an air conditioner in that cab of that mower?
I'll lose the cab as quick as I can. But, yeah, as soon as they're done using it, sweeping, and their sidewalks and everything, for the
Okay.
county park, we'll get rid of the cab and, yeah, we'll be up and running.
Okay. Newspapers have anything? No.
Well, we have started our park cleanup after we've lost the snow. Reggie's waiting on me to use his mower before he can take the cab off, so we're gonna try and get that picked up here in the next day, so we can get out and sweep the rocks out of the grass in various places. We should start our prescribed fire program next week. I would think we will not be doing anything for the next 3 days for sure, with the red flag warning and the lack of fuel moisture anywhere. The lease with the Osceola County Sportsman's Club has been signed. We finally got the insurance paperwork, which required of the lease, and it met the stipulation, so we went ahead and signed that last week. They did start shooting out at the new Otter Creek Shooting Sports Complex last week.
Where is that?
So it'd be the,
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah, west of the gravel pile. on April 30th. And just so they know, I did send it to Beck Engineering.
Thank you.
And then, I guess lastly, we did find someone who's willing to work weekends for the Nature Center. So the Nature Center will be open on the second and fourth weekends of every month. So that will be open to the public. So, other than that, plug on.
Find any part-time mowing help?
I've not done that yet. We've not really found anybody for that service.
Is that part of the deal with the engineering company that they have to mow?
Landon loves mud.
I'll be paid for that.
I don't know that we could afford them for that, but.
That's just a freebie.
Yeah.
Sheila?
Okay, well, I think spring's finally sprung, and people are getting anxious to go fishing, so we've got a lot of people coming into that. And a lot of people have been calling about getting married, what they have to do for that, so, we're anxious to get our office back together, but it's getting a little ready, I guess. So,
Okay. Becky?
Well, Beth's last day was Friday, so Francie's been here about 2 weeks or so. She started for the 28th of March. So she's doing real well, catching on pretty fast, so anxious for that. Still some taxes rolling in. We do mail out delinquent notices at the end of the month, so anyone that hasn't paid or completely forgot, they'll get a notice at the end of the month. So the rest of the tax day in June.
Nolan, you made it in time.
Barely. Well, we have been busy getting used to our new cartel software. We're getting to a point where I think the efficiency is starting to outweigh the newness of it. There's still a lot of features of it that we are learning and getting adjusted to, but we've been really happy with the amount of service and attention we've gotten from the folks that put it together and work with us here in Iowa on it. The bugs have been promptly worked out. We're happy about having it. So that's been good. Been busy in juvenile court. Had 2 suppression hearings in district court yesterday. It's been a busy couple of weeks with a wide variety of stuff, and plus some civil things we've all been working on. So that's about what we've been up to.
Kevin?
Our new deputy, Shane Nellis, started last Monday, and you just approved his appointment. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're just working with him, trying to get him up to speed on everything, and kicked him loose yesterday on his own, so he's good to go.
Good. Where's he living at?
He's trying, supposedly he's gonna live in Ashton. He's got some friends that are moving out of Ashton that have a house, so he's gonna try to get into there, so.
Okay, good. Now, secondary roads, how many vehicles did we lose?
Well, just a little fire update. A week ago, we had a fire on Saturday, and we lost 4 trucks. The payloaders, the adjusters are still looking at them to see if they're total loss or not. And then nothing's been decided yet for sure on that there, but it's not looking very good. The building, I think they're gonna put down as a complete loss. And as far as signing a statement of loss, they want to give us $100,000 now to start buying things back, for purchasing and whatnot, so. But as far as inventory and everything, the guys have been out, we got everything inventoried. We haven't put a price on everything yet. I've been going through with the auto adjuster a little bit about how the procedure of the things for noting all the fire stuff down. Other than that, it's just gonna be time. Trucks aren't available, so.
Did they figure where the fire started?
We had a fire investigator came, and he looked, and he's thinking it's one of the trucks that started it. He will not say yet until he goes into it further with other people to investigate it. So that is not over with yet, to pinpoint it down. But all takes time.
Yep.
So, and I guess for the rest of the secondary roads, we've been out grading roads. We rented another tractor and we're dragging them to roads. We bought some extra rock for frost boils and whatnot. So far, there's been a little
the gravel roads will be slow to get some gravel until we get things straightened out, so. And I guess that's what I have to say about that, if Brian's got anything else.
So overall, Keith said our budget numbers are holding steady as of March with the snow, but there's the, part of the agenda is the budget amendment to reallocate funds based on the Iowa DOT budgeting coding requirements. Not asking for additional funds, just asking to move them around here. Tomorrow is the Northwest Iowa Planning TIP working session, it's in Spencer. We're asking for that $1 million for a paving project in 2028. Last year at our engineers conference, there's a program called HTIP, it's Highway Safety Improvement Program, and the funding level for that has increased from $2 million to $5 million. So we looked into it, and the program's goal is to reduce two types of crashes, lane departure and intersection crashes. So we put in for a project to put paved shoulders on 822 from Sibley to 59 and 834 from Highway 60 to 59, and we rewarded those funds. It would be $1.298 million from the HTIP program. So that'll happen in our next paving project in 2024, so we'll do all that work. With the DNR and the Ochean River, we have sent our letter to the DNR. Osceola County sent their, Rural Water sent their own letter. That's where we're at with all that. Other than that, we're, getting ready for spring.
Good. How'd you guys turn out with the rest of the trucks, like the sign truck and
Still going through that.
stuff going through it? Yeah. Michelle?
Thursday I'll be gone to seek continuing education, and then the 20th of April, my office will be closed. We're heading out to Storm Lake for election training. My whole staff has to do an online security election training for end of April, and there's lots of stuff due this month that we're trying to get through.
Okay. Thank you. And with those, Nick? You all gonna speak?
Are you ready for it?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, maybe I'll start. I'm Teresa Beck, and from Beck, 15 years ago, senior. I'm from Beck Engineering, and I have you guys want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Cody Ege, I'm with Beck, and we kind of do a little bit of everything with them.
I'm Landon White, I'm a project engineer for Beck, been with for about 5 years, first few years up in the Spirit Lake office, and now I'm in our Shelton office.
And mowing too?
Yep, and mowing.
It's funny you bring that up, because we all take turns mowing our own office area, and they actually fight over who's going to do it. Because when it's nice out, everybody wants to be outside, and no one wants to be inside, so it's funny that you say that. I'm Teresa Beck, and I've been with Beck Engineering since 2006. My husband Brad started it in 2001 in Spirit Lake, and over the years we've slowly grown, and we have 4 offices in Northwest Iowa now. We have a great team that's growing, and we've had a robust internship program, which is how we've been able to grow our company and have a lot of great guys that want to come back, which has driven our growth. So we started with civil engineering and land surveying. I brought you each a folder, just with a little bit of information. We started with civil engineering and land surveying, and then in 2018, when we opened our office in Cherokee, which Cody's a native of Cherokee, and he's in our Cherokee office, we added landscape architecture as a result of a Cherokee native that was a landscape architect, and he wanted to live in Northwest Iowa, and he actually applied for a survey technician job, and then we saw how talented he was, and we said, we got to try to find a way for you to do that here in Northwest Iowa. So we've been able to keep him busy with parks, and he helps us with master planning and developments, and just he helps bring color to our lives, because before it was just kind of plans that sets, and anyway, so now we offer landscape architecture, and, most of our work comes from small cities. We do all the basic municipal engineering. We also do a lot of work for schools, and we do a lot of land surveying. But we also work for counties, and so that's kind of why I'm here today, is I wanted to just, different things that we've done for other counties, when their county engineer has a special project that maybe they need a little assistance with because it's an extra workload, is usually when we get asked to help. So we've helped, like in Cherokee County, we helped them with the road, construction. It was actually a new road that was going, reconstruction, was going from gravel to a paved road for a ethanol plant. We've done a lot of drainage district work. We've done, drainage and wetland projects for counties, trails, and then we've also done just like standard bridges and box culverts. So those are kind of some of the things that if a county engineer, decides they need some external help, then they would reach out to us for that. And Brad and I have met with Keith before, and so actually we go to church with Keith too, so, but just wanted an opportunity to introduce ourselves to you guys. In Sibley, we've done quite a bit for the city and the school. We worked on the school addition, and then we also helped with the new track here at Sibley Ocheezy. And then things we've done for the city are streets and trails, surveying, we helped with the pool. So we've done quite a bit of work over this way, but, just wanted to have the opportunity to introduce ourselves to you and, see if, we're excited that you are giving us an opportunity to give you a proposal on that project. That's awesome. Just want you to keep us in mind if you ever need help with anything, so. I don't know, did I cover it all? Did I forget something?
No, I think you covered it all.
So, yeah, I work mostly in Spirit Lake office, but I'm kind of all over, and I help on the business side, so lucky for you guys, I'm not a technical person. You wouldn't want that, but yeah, I guess that's us in a nutshell, is surveying, engineering, landscape architecture, and then, Cherokee, it'll be 5 years this year that we've had that office. Orange City is 2 years old, and then Sheldon is a year old, so. But we love working in Northwest Iowa, that's our niche. Do you guys have any questions for us, or?
No, I don't.
Do you guys do, like, would you do pile designs for us? Is that kind of engineering? For piling?
No, we don't, no.
Yeah, we've done, we do all the basic municipal engineering. So we've
Yeah.
done some airport work, we've done some, trails,
Okay.
streets, drainage,
Just the-
kind of the basic
Mhm.
things that are listed there on the city sheet. So this is kind of our website on paper, but we have more detail on our website if you ever have any other questions. Yeah.
And drainage districts,
Yep.
where's that handout?
I don't have it on a handout,
Okay.
so sorry about that. I should.
It's kind of a specialized area, so I was flipping through all your
Yeah.
handouts here, so I.
So we
I'm
have
looking for
done, we're involved with, we're in charge of a couple drainage districts in, Dickinson County. And then they've hired us just for drainage, as they need it. Cherokee County and Dickinson kind of is out for special drainage projects, but yeah, we also do some drainage district work, so. DD 22 and DD 10, and I'm not sure all the ones we do, but. Do you want more information specific to that? Cause I'd be happy to have the guys email you stuff.
that would be great.
Do you, just want me to get your email off website, or do you have a card?
Just send it to the.
Or I'll forward it
Send
on.
it to Rochelle. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll send you more information specific to what we've done for drainage district work, so. We've helped set them up. We've helped set up a new one by Superior, and then we've also just helped manage them as well, and the maintenance.
The trails, the Oklahoma trails, have you worked with that?
Yeah, yep, we've done, Dickinson County Trails Board, we've done all their designs for, I don't know how long we worked for them, but I think last year alone, we had like 9 miles that we did. Not just, I can't remember if that was just in Dickinson County or not, but we've done trails in Cherokee County and Sioux County, and, we designed one in Sheldon that's gonna go, that pond that's on 60 there by the event center. We've designed that trail, so we've done a ton of trails. And one thing we've realized, that helps us be successful in helping get our clients grant money is,
seems like Dickinson County, they'll have us design it, and then if it's designed, then they're more likely to get funding to build it, because it's shovel-ready, or isn't that the term they use? So but yeah, we've helped them with all their trails, so. And then actually the trailhead in Spirit Lake, we designed that as well, the new trailhead by Hy-Vee. So we've had a lot to do with trails. They're fun projects. I always say no one cares about water and sewer till it doesn't work, so. It's like, these are fun projects, trails are fun, and people enjoy them, and kind of, we get to work on some fun things. So.
Okay, any other questions?
Putting yourself out there, or making yourself aware, or?
Yeah, that's just the point of this, yeah, so like, you know, you bring up drainage district work, historically, we haven't like marketed ourselves that we can do that. This is actually the first meeting I've ever come and said, hey, we can do drainage district
I
work.
didn't know you guys did drainage work.
Yeah, we do, and so, to be honest with you, our company, you know, our team is, if you look at our team, I'm one of the oldest people on the team, actually. So, you know, we have a young team that are growing, and to be honest with you, we're to the point now where we are able to go out and market ourselves more, and offer more, and, you know, we do these services. I kind of say, like, you know, as you're a young company and you're growing, you don't know, you just kind of do whatever your clients ask you to do and you figure it out. And that's kind of where we've been. We've just been growing and learning, and a lot of our team, they've, you know, spent a lot of time developing their own skills and learning, and so, yeah, this is actually the first time that we've gone out and actually marketed that we can do drainage work. Just because it's, like I said, just been working on developing our team and learning and growing. Now we have more capacity to do more work, and so we don't get out in front of our skis, I guess. But we feel like we're prepared now to do more work like that.
Okay.
So, but we'll follow up and send you more information on what we do with drainage district work, and we'll follow up on that proposal. Thanks for including us. We appreciate that. Well, thanks for your time.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
Enjoy your spring, because there's summer. I think we're gonna go right to summer, it seems like, so. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks.
This one's on the team. It's gonna be the oldest one's on the team. Is that right? High school. We get pretty old now.
I didn't know there was any other people doing drainage.
Okay, 2023 conservation exception makers.
I do.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we've got a motion to accept these. Do we have support?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent dental vision insurance for union employees.
Currently, they don't have the option for dental and vision, and I had an employee over there wondering if they could. So, it's the board's decision. I mean, the county does not pay any premiums for that. It's all employee paid premiums if they so choose to take the dental or the vision.
Is that something we should add into the contract if we're gonna do?
I talked to Jack, and he said that you can approve it without it being in the contract.
Since it's all employee paid, he said it would not be an issue to offer it. My initial feeling is, they wanted to be a union, they wanted to have a say in all of this. So now they see somebody else get something, well, why not us? You created the playing field. That's my initial reaction, since it's at their cost and I don't think it's been reasonable. Thought I'd had more recently was, what about we just approve it until the next union negotiations, then it's not, well, you can't take that away, no, it's until, talk about it. So I think we've been making steps in the interest of all of our employees, I would love to extend it to them. They want this situation where they only wanna talk to us as a group, so we're taking that step out of respect to that. I don't see why this should be different, but it's not at a cost to the county, so I could see either allowing it or with the stipulation that it'll be discussed at the next negotiation.
The second one. Is there a motion or anything?
Allow it until the next negotiations, that way.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, that maybe extends a little bit of a hand to that. But yet, doesn't give in completely.
Would that be a motion, Jason?
If there's no further discussion, I'll make a motion that we grant approval for them to access the dental and vision. The same way that the other employees do it at their cost until the next negotiation period.
Support. Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Okay. Consider proclamation for National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week.
I've always skipped this one.
Oh. We have that one checked off. Condemnation, commission.
Alright, we just need some more city people here. Rob Travell agreed to the egg property. And the bankers, appraisers, I got Morgan Trammell, Morgan Grader, she works at Sheldon Credit, Farm Credit. For the city, I got John Mendugo applied, and then Doug Black offered to be on it. I need two more people. I can't find anybody in Ashton, but I don't have like Mike Hadding or Kelly Johnson's number.
I don't either.
I don't know who to get it from.
Dave Mahler. You got that.
I don't have his number either, do you? And I think I should have another one in Sibley too, Tom Block. I tried calling him on Friday and I haven't heard back. Did you hear, you haven't heard anything from him either? Tom
No.
Block?
How many people does this have to total up to?
They want 28 people, 7 in each category, but of course, I don't have,
461.
we won't get the,
7 real estate.
real estate, yeah.
It's just a point, even though they define, the code says we shall appoint 7 in each category.
I did call Judy Top Helmers and Tim, but they haven't called me back if they're interested in Ashton.
It is a requirement they have to live in the county.
Yeah. I tried calling Kevin Wilson, but my number's disconnected. I don't have a cell phone for him.
I could probably find that out.
Okay.
Get it,
That would be great.
figure it out, so.
Okay. And then it'd be nice if we could get somebody from Ashton, you know, if Kevin wouldn't say yes, and somebody from Ashton.
If he asks Dave, he might know somebody else.
Yeah, I tried asking Andy Gakey if he knew of anybody, but he was gonna go up and down the street, but I haven't heard back from him yet, if he could think of somebody in Ashton. So hopefully, by next meeting, we can have it all done and can be approved. What do you think?
I could maybe ask, did you ask Patrick for these?
I did not, but I had heard he's trying to get off boards, get on boards, that's.
Somebody that came to mind.
Yep, 'cause I thought of him too, and I asked somebody about that, and they said he's trying to get off board, so. But I didn't call him.
Okay.
Maybe I should, you know, hear it from him
I'll
instead
see
of
if I
somebody
can
else.
get ahold of him.
Okay,
Mike had him possibly,
okay.
Ashton,
yeah, Mike had him.
maybe reach out to Kevin Allen too.
Kevin don't live in.
No, he doesn't live in
Did he
Ashland
sell his place
anymore.
there?
No, I think they sold it or
Well, I'm
something.
not sure, I know he doesn't live
Okay.
there, but I don't know if he owns it.
They're in the process of selling, but I don't know if they
Yeah.
did or not.
Okay.
He lives in Sibley now. Hope he doesn't hear me.
I asked Irv, if he could come in. Right, see what we can do.
Okay, sounds good, thank you.
Okay, now can we do the National Public Safety? Consider proclamation for National Public Safety and Communication Week. What do we start with?
Just approve it, I guess, and
I'll make that
sign
motion.
it.
I'll support it. Okay, we've got a motion, we've got support, all in favor?
Right?
Opposed? Discuss courthouse office repairs.
Yeah, they don't have the recorder's office done yet, it was more than they thought it was gonna be, so they have it all ready to be textured and then painted. It's probably gonna take a couple more. The assessor's office are about done with that, they should be done with that this week. The treasurer's office, they're hoping to start that on April 25th. And then Becky's not gonna close her office, but she's gonna move it into the computer room. And then they'll just go through our office, so she can do DOTs and all that good stuff and, take.
They'll have access to all the equipment.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just be
Yeah, they're gonna move all the equipment into the computer room.
all the
Yeah, instead of, so then they can have a week or 2 weeks to work directly in that office without, you know, she doesn't wanna close her office, but she can move it, you know.
good working on it.
Yeah, and then I'll work around into our office, I'll go through our office and she's gonna encourage, you know, maybe to do more online, the driver's license, both online, but we'll see how that works. It's slowly but surely coming.
Okay,
How much more costly?
Oh, yeah, they're to their bid now. The bid, we have $78 left in their bid, and then the rest is
But
hourly.
when we talked the other day, we were talking what?
120 hours.
So about $5,000 more.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit more than that. They're gonna take a little bit more time in there. Their one section is
Right,
gonna fall
I
off.
understand, but double that?
Yeah.
Or half of that, or?
Yeah, they
what?
told me 250 hours more, that'd be like another $10,000.
Yeah,
What I-
5.
No, another 5,
Including that 5, okay.
including that 5, the 10,000 total.
It becomes that, I was just curious what.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you don't know what you're getting into
Right.
until you start tearing stuff off.
it's been what, 20, 30 years since it's been done?
Well, the treasurer's office is back corners.
Unless we just paint it over.
That's what I said. Nobody came to agree with that. 20 years from now, we'll have somebody else working on it.
So they're gonna have to re-sheet rock a bunch of the
Or 3,
treasurer's office.
or what,
Yeah.
or 3 years.
They might, especially Becky's corner, they probably will have to, they won't know until they get into that, but it will help with hours if Becky, you know, moves totally out of it, then they can just take working at it, you don't have to.
Tear it down.
Yeah, so, yeah, so,
We're still well within our budget amount to cover that, aren't we?
I increased the budget amendment, I increased that a little bit. I think 40,000 I added just to be sure. I didn't know where we were gonna get into, so. I'd rather have more than not enough to get us through July, to June
My
30th.
paint's looking better all the time, isn't it?
Yeah. So, that's where we're at with that, unfortunately. But upstairs, the courtroom, that's gonna be another next fiscal
That's
year.
next year.
Yeah, next year. Okay.
Is that it? Okay, quarterly reports from the auditor and recorder.
All right, here's our reports. I didn't make copies of this.
The desk for more members. I'm not sure what they cost.
$20, I think.
That's 29. What's for other?
Oh, like, flat books, I don't know what ours all had.
Just in case he talks a long time.
Yeah. E911 surcharges. These are our health insurance grants. This is our health insurance premium that we check that we cut as those went up.
Gotcha. Thank you.
E911 surcharges,
Flat
our
books.
health insurance premiums,
Flat books.
flat books go in there. Anything that doesn't fit into the other categories go in there.
Everyone's in the snow, or recycling, that's what I was.
It's a mistake
Oh,
on,
that's for sure.
yeah,
Yep.
and you guys paid more, so our each line is changed, sometimes you use the wrong number. And then our software, camera software set up, so that's the guy. No, double check, like I said, we have to have it run through claims. So stressful moments. At least it's a reimbursement and not have to pay.
instead of see which ones are in here.
Great place too, Brandon.
Okay, Troy, are you ready? Are you gonna be the speaker?
Is this the hot seat?
Yep.
All right. Good morning. Thanks for having us. I'm Troy Larson, the Executive Director of the Lewis and Clark Regional Water System. Joining me is Clint Kane, our Construction Administrator at Lewis and Clark, also our longtime Director, Larry Pedley, who I'm sure you all know, and also Corey and Susan from the city. Thanks for being here as well. We appreciate the opportunity to visit with you about some gravel road crossings. So we, in the course of this project, we're working with 12 different counties, and this is the very last county that we're working with. And we're thankful to finally be getting close. We expect Sibley will be connected by the end of 2024, early 2025. It's been a long time coming. We expect to be able to award the contract for what we call the Sibley Service Line sometime this summer. So what we're here to visit about is these gravel road crossings. So every time in the other 11 counties that we've had a place where we have to cross a gravel road, we've been allowed to open cut the gravel road. There's been one or two very unique situations where it called for boring under it, but otherwise we've been able to open cut. And when we first contacted the county, the feedback we got was that we had to jack and bore all 7 crossings, and that would have added about $300,000 to the cost. Our engineers met with Keith, and I don't believe Keith is here, or one of you Keith? Okay. So our engineers visited with Keith, and Keith said, no, I misspoke. I didn't mean jack and bore, I meant horizontal directional drilling. So that would have added about $100,000 to the cost, which is better than $300,000. And then in subsequent conversations, Keith discovered that for us to horizontal directionally drill 3 of the 7, we would have been required to go out and get additional easement area from the landowners. So Keith said, well, in those instances, we'll allow open cutting. So now we're down to 4 that have to be horizontal directionally drilled. So the getting permission for the 3 is greatly appreciated. Thank you. That brings down the additional cost to roughly $50,000 that we would have to spend in addition to what we'd normally spend in order to do these 4 crossings. So all we're here talking about today is these 4 remaining crossings. So again, we're thankful for the permission that we've gotten so far to open cut 3 of them. The main concern that I have heard, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, is that settling. Apparently in the past there's been issue with settling with regard to open cutting. And what we are doing, what we've shared with Mike, is Lewis and Clark would provide a 2-year guarantee to ensure that any repair work is done if there is settling. Rarely has that happened in the course of our projects. We've had 2-3 times where settling's been an issue and we've resolved it. And so we're not offering to you anything we haven't offered to other counties. This isn't a special deal. We always provide a 2-year guarantee in all the counties that we work. In Sioux County alone, we had 30 gravel road crossings, and none of them have been an issue to date. So we are here to respectfully request that we be allowed to open cut those remaining 4, because again, we're already gonna be doing 3, and so really, in our humble opinion, there's no difference between open cutting 3 versus 7. And so we would appreciate your consideration of that. We take our responsibility very seriously to be good stewards of the taxpayer dollars. And in the scope of the Lewis and Clark project, which is about $750 million, 50,000 may not seem like a lot of money, but it is. It's a good chunk of change, and it was worth our time to come over today to make that case, to please ask for your permission to open cut those 4 remaining crossings.
In other counties, what percentage of them have been bore and which one percentage have been cut, open cut?
All of them except 2, 3 is what Scott said, very unique. So Scott Vandermeulen from Banner is our engineer, and there's been, 0.001% where there was some unique situation. So virtually 100% we've been allowed to open cut. So that we were greatly surprised when we got the word that we had to do something different here. And again, my understanding is the county has had issues with settling in the past, and that's why you took the steps that you did. And so I understand that, but I'm offering a solution that if that's been a problem, we will make sure that we stand behind it. And so the
But
county...
you're only gonna stand behind it for 2 years, and I know for a fact that these issues show up depending on whether it's a dry year or a wet year, past that 2-year window.
Okay. So what guarantee do you want then?
Well, the engineer, I'm not the engineer, he made his recommendation, so I kinda, that's what we pay him for. And if this was his recommendation, I'm inclined to go with what he recommended.
We changed what, 2016 is when,
For utility companies to bore through, it was, here, I would think it was right then. Yes, 20 or earlier, I think that's what it was. Utility companies just bore through our roads.
I think the issue, Mike, is if we allow this, then we gotta allow all that.
Yeah, that's basically what it would be.
How big of a trench is this that you're going across the road? Is it?
If we open cut it?
Yeah.
Clint, do you have any?
It varies on depth, and obviously the contractor that digs it, it could be as narrow as probably 8 feet with a trench box, if that's something that they would use. Typically across roadways like this, there's other utilities, the trench box doesn't really work that well, but I would assume it would be probably 15 feet at the top, and it would narrow to the bottom,
15 feet wide at the top?
roughly.
how deep are they gonna go?
We typically try to have about 8 to 10 feet of overburden over the top of our pipe from the bottom of ditches, so it'll 8 feet to the top of our pipe from the bottom of the ditch.
Again, and I know Keith isn't here, but if his main concern is settling, surely there's a way that we can find a resolution to this. And I understand that you're essentially setting a precedent going forward, but if your new precedent would be a 2, 3, 4-year guarantee, whatever you are requiring, that would be the new guarantee. And what I understand is not all bores are created equal in terms of the cost. The smaller the pipeline, for example, if you have a rural water system that has a 2-inch line or 6-inch line, that cost is comparable to open cutting. The bigger the diameter pipe, the more costly it is. So if you're talking fiber optic, odds are they're not gonna open cut your road. So it's a unique situation where I don't know how many 16-inch or larger water lines you're gonna have going through your area. Would you disagree or agree?
That's a fair statement.
So I don't believe you're setting a new precedent in terms of everyone else is gonna want to do this, because they are much smaller utilities, and it just wouldn't be economical for them to open cut.
I should point out too, if I may, that 15 feet would be probably on the narrow end of the trench, with that 8 to 10 feet of depth. The
guys or the contractor?
So what I've shared with Mike is we already have a 2-year warranty period with the contractor. And in the two or three instances we've had where we've had to make a warranty claim, the contractor has come in and fixed it at his cost. But what I've shared with Mike is if for some reason that doesn't happen, which to date has not, that Lewis and Clark would be the backstop. So whether it's the contractor or Lewis and Clark, the county is covered.
So could there be like a bond put down on that, so if they do not come back and fix it at a request, we cash the bond, or something?
Yep. And we have that now. We have that now. It's called a warranty bond.
Yeah, we have one.
So we have that warranty bond, and then what I'm saying is for some reason the contractor said, no, they're making that up, there's no settling, we're not gonna fix that, then Lewis and Clark would stand behind it. And Lewis and Clark is Larry Pedley and 19 other directors. And there's no reason we would nickel and dime the county. I mean, we want to be a good neighbor, we have been a good neighbor. There's no reason if the county said, hey, there's settling here, that we say, oh, no, there's not. We're gonna do what the county wants us to do. So Larry Pedley's the backstop, and Larry's good for it.
I may not be around in 5 years.
If you feel 2 years isn't good enough, throw out a number. I mean, we're so confident this isn't gonna be an issue. You want a 3-year guarantee, 4-year guarantee, 5-year guarantee. You tell us what the guarantee is. I mean, it's not gonna, in my opinion, it's not gonna settle after 2 years. So I have no qualms making it as long as you think you need to have it.
Mike, what are your thoughts?
I do feel though, like if there's a bond, and if they don't uphold it, I mean, if we have some sort of way to cash or, credit it, I would be okay with that, because I do realize a 16-inch bore is a very large bore. We do bore, roads, the blacktops, for water, or tile lines, we've done, 8, 10, and 12-inch bores for them. Never been up to a 16, so I can kind of understand that, but if you have some way to hold them to the responsibility of coming back and fixing the road, and if they don't, with a bond issue or something like that, I would personally be okay with that. And I think you said it very well about setting precedents. I kind of thought the same thing about setting precedents for the utility companies. This is a unique situation, like I said, we do make rural water. When they put in, I can't remember how big that was, that.
It's like 12.
That was a 12-inch, they were boring
last year.
our gravel roads for that though. Over there on the eastern part of the county, going into Dixon County, they were boring our gravel roads, and I do believe that was a 12-inch.
Yeah, it numbers around that stuff.
So we have made them bore, so.
And now I've got Troy's cell number, so I can be a pain.
What's that?
I've got your cell number now, so I can be a pain.
Absolutely.
Well, and our policy says may, it doesn't say shall, so I mean, it's up to the engineer's discretion. It's not
And that's,
board's
and that was
discretion, but,
for unique situations.
yeah,
That's why it's worded that way.
that's why it's worded may. So I guess it really is still up to the engineer, whether he wants to do it that way or not. And he'll be back when?
Monday.
He'll be back.
He'll be back Monday.
Yeah, because this item didn't come at the request of the engineer, right? You guys scheduled this
Correct.
item, altogether.
I know I visited with Troy quite a bit about this, and I don't want to make the decisions, so.
But it is a 16-inch water line that's coming in?
Correct.
So I guess we'd have to talk to Keith when he gets back and see where he goes with that. If we get like a 5-year guarantee on that or whatever, and we're bonded to cover it, no one wants to come back and fix it.
And like Troy mentioned, Lewis and Clark could extend that warranty period out for a couple more years to whatever Keith might feel is comfortable. I don't think that would be an option to be thrown off the table. They're a good company, been working with them for 30 years, and they're a very ethical company, so I would not be afraid of Lewis and Clark at all.
What would mobilization and addressing an issue on the gravel road cost 1, 2, 3 times in that 5-year period?
To address settling, do you have a guesstimate on if one crossing settles, what does it cost to bring in some more gravel? It couldn't be a lot.
It wouldn't be that much, it would be more if it falls apart during the
Time.
Right.
timing of it, in the spring when the frost comes out, and then if you gotta readdress it, with more severe than just gravel, that's probably the biggest
Sure.
issue. It isn't just the maintenance gravel going on.
Right.
That's just part of gravel roads.
And if time is a concern, like you're saying, well, it's really not the cost, it's the time. When we need it fixed, we need it fixed now. How you guys could make the approval contingent is the county has the option to fix it, and that we would reimburse for time and money. Again, we would first go back to the contractor, and if they don't pay, then we would pay. So that way, you control the timeline, and you would bill us again for materials and labor.
How long would that process take? No, to get paid back.
We pay our bills at the end of each month, so whenever we get the invoice, we pay them the end of the month.
But if you're going to the contractor first, I was just kinda curious as to
Oh,
what the time frame is.
If we had to, we could reimburse and then or we could pay for it and then get reimbursed from the contractor. So if for some reason that takes longer, we wouldn't hold up the show just because we're waiting for money from the contractor. I mean, we're talking about such a minimal amount of money here, that even if for some reason Lewis and Clark doesn't get reimbursed, again, let's say the settling's not that severe and the contractor just doesn't feel they should be responsible. We're not gonna nickel and dime the county. I mean, again, this is $50,000. If in the end we have to spend a few thousand for material and labors, it's still, again, we're trying to be good stewards of the taxpayers.
That's what I was getting at, is trying to compare, okay, so you do have to come out and address something once, maybe twice, if it's pull some things up and pack it better or differently, and how close are we gonna get to the $50,000 difference?
Not even close. I can't even imagine how much settling would have to take place to blow through 50,000.
Open cuts are just, it's a 2-year wound that it takes, just special attention, extra trips going out there with the maintainer. And that's why we went to the boring, was to save ourselves from all those extra trips, but like I said, it's a unique situation.
I think larger bores have a higher chance of having settling issues themselves. The larger hole you're reaming, there's a lot of potential for issues with bores as well.
So if we went to a 5-year guarantee, you wouldn't have a problem?
No, can you see a problem with that, Larry? And again, because we know it's not gonna be an issue, and number two, if it is, this is just a minimal cost. I mean, if that's what it takes for us to save 50,000, the board's gonna agree with Larry.
Everything comes within 2 years for the settling.
Yeah, and again, that's what, and I'm sorry, your name again is?
Mike.
Mike. What Mike just said is why we have a 2-year warranty period is we just don't see anything happening beyond that. So I believe by us extending it to 5, we're giving you something that's belts and suspenders.
There's been no other issues in any other counties? Is there?
Not after 2 years. We had one issue by Adrian where there was a road that was, it was a paved road that was settling, as I recall.
That was actually a bore.
That was a bore? Really? Okay, so we had a bore even settle on it. And then maybe 1 or 2 other gravel roads. It's, in Sioux County alone, we had 30 crossings of gravel roads. So we worked in 11 other counties, so extrapolate that, roughly 300 crossings. And if we've had issues with 3, we're talking 1%. And again, nothing after 2 years.
I know our luck as a county, so I know how this would probably work out for us, we'd be that 1%er, but,
I was thinking on your lines too, Jason, if it's gonna cost $25,000 to repair, but you're saying it won't even be close to that?
I didn't have a clue, I was just curious how they
Well,
compare.
I was gonna say, let's make a deal.
I can understand your concern too, because I lived here all my life, and Osceola County is a unique county in that you have these frost boils, and I mean, I drove through for 40-some years, and I know these roads can just turn to crap, overnight almost, and I don't know if the land's moving around or what, so I can understand your concern. much assured that Lewis and Clark will stand by what they say.
So I guess we visit with Keith when he gets back.
The sooner the better in terms of our plans and designs that we have to submit. So I don't know if there's something you can approve contingent upon Keith's green light, or how you, I don't know how you
I
operate.
think with what I talked to Keith about, if you extend that to the 5 years, I believe he'd feel comfortable with that.
When's the bid letting?
We hope advertise in May. It's depending on getting all the easements, and we're doing really good on our easement acquisition. And so, right now, we have to get plans and specs into agency review, and then hopefully we can advertise in May, bid opening in June. But again, that's all contingent upon easement acquisition. So sooner rather than later, which is why we want to get this on the agenda, since
So you thought Keith would be comfortable with the 5?
I think with the warranty period extension, yeah, we would be comfortable with
So I guess I'd make a motion to do the 5-year extension on that warranty period pending the engineer's approval when he gets back on Monday.
Do you have all of that, Rochelle?
I hope so.
Okay, we got,
I'll support that.
okay, we've got motion and support.
Is it worth mentioning a bond like Mike had
Yeah,
mentioned?
that was,
And I guess toss the bond in there too.
And again, just to clarify, if I could, Mr. Chairman, the bond that I was talking about, the 2-year warranty bond is with the contractor.
Yep.
Beyond that, Lewis and Clark would be guaranteeing it ourselves. We have a little bit of money, we can handle it. And so what I would do, if you approve it, is send you a letter saying Lewis and Clark guarantees that from year 3, 4, and 5, that we would cover this. So we wouldn't actually take out a bond because we can afford to take care of any settlement.
Otherwise, Larry will pay for it.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Thanks.
Does that work for you, Mike? Okay.
Trust me, we're good for it. If we need to pay for it, we're good for it.
Okay, we've got a motion, we've got support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right, thank you very much, I appreciate that.
I'll abstain.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anything else?
Well, thanks for coming down.
Anybody else?
There'd be trouble then.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Appreciate it, thank you.
What'd you say? Anybody else need to abstain?
No, 'cause everybody else said something. I guess I didn't forget to go to the abstain sign, so. Okay.
I just, I think I asked clarifying questions and didn't give an indication, pro or con, so.
No, I'm comfortable with what you were saying, that Keith would be comfortable with that.
We talked about that, and I think, I feel better about it, so, thank you, would.
Okay, good. So we'll talk to him Monday.
You'll just hear something from Rural Water with their 12
Yeah,
inch
that'd
blower.
be the only
yeah, that's
thing.
exactly what I was thinking.
You will.
Yeah.
But it's still, it's up to the engineer. The way it's written, it's his decision on whether or not he wants to allow it. It's 16 is a big pipe.
That,
That is one thing of it, it's big, very big pipe, so.
Cause most of that CO2 stuff, they're talking about directional drilling through a bunch of those farm ground
Oh, yeah.
as well. Not just the roads, but the
yeah,
ground.
I mean, they do have a boring machine up here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
As it gets closer, I realize the impact it might have on our business using Lewis and Clark water.
Yeah, it might be cheaper.
Our own water, so.
Yeah.
It's become more personal, so I was not trying to influence that, but if I vote no, then
Oh, but I appreciate,
probably influenced by that, so that's.
but I appreciate the questions you asked.
Trying to just have clarifying questions here, and still wrestling with whether to cite a conflict or not.
Well, I won't be getting any of it, so I guess I'm good.
But I like your guys' approach with giving the engineer the final approval.
Yeah.
The way it's written, I think that's good.
Hey. Plane, or shall we do the CO2 pipeline
Well,
resolution?
that's Ivan.
Oh,
Last two agenda items are Ivan,
oh, okay.
so we gotta wait till he gets here.
Gotta go to the claims.
$16.69, $16.70, and $16.71 are no loss of water.
Okay, 16.
16.68 through 71.
Okay.
70 and 71 were water delivery and a leak repair recently done. As I was making the bill for the leak repair, I saw there were some old invoices that got missed somehow and submitted those again. So
I'll make a
those were-
motion on those invoices.
Okay, we've got a motion on those invoices. Support. And we've got support, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
Seems to be a little thicker claims packet today.
Yes, there was a payroll glitch or payroll calculation error, so we had to pay everybody their Medicare reimbursement back to them, that's why.
You mean that glitches too?
Human error. There wasn't a glitch. Human error.
I'll make a motion on the claims.
Okay, we've got a motion on the claims, do we have support?
Support for the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And abstained?
So, Michelle, do you remember when we replaced this curb out front here?
What we did out there?
No, we did this one out here too. It's all falling off.
Yeah, remember, I know there's cracks in it that happened when the contractor did the windows, so their H&H are supposed to have done it last fall, so Keith is, or Reggie's checking on it for this year. I didn't realize it was falling off.
Oh yeah, it's all crumbling apart like the cement was too dry or something when they put it in, but it's just disintegrating.
Maybe H&H can look at that one when they fix the,
Cause I didn't think it was that long ago that we
it
had
hasn't
done
been that
that.
long ago, but, it hasn't been that long ago.
Did we do it at the same time as we got it up on the north side?
I think we did, maybe.
No, 'cause I remember doing the north side, that's only been 2-3 years ago.
I thought we repaired that side already though. We done some to that side
Yep.
already.
I noticed walking in over there, it looks like
Rusty.
100-year-old concrete, it's just all flaking off.
A lot of it was the contractor too.
I guess we'll need to fix it again.
Yeah. Okay, this is from Ed, these are Jerry's.
That's the one on the north side.
Yeah.
Oh, she would step it up.
Alright, I have some stuff for you to sign.
Michelle, how does that work when we're working with, excuse me, with O'Brien County on this? Do we bill them and then?
No, usually what happens is once the board sets the, percent to tip, or the percent that we're gonna charge everybody, then they collect it over there, and then they send us the money.
And they send us.
Yeah.
This Richard seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, he's super nice, he has some other things that I forgot.
Thirsty yet, Leroy?
No, I've had enough.
You're quitting kinda early.
Yeah, quit that.
worst food I've had from Quick Start are these donuts.
Oh, yeah.
Just what?
The donuts.
Or what?
Their donuts aren't that great,
No, I don't think so either.
but the rest of the food I've had out there has been good.
No,
you got lots to choose from.
it's convenience store food, and that's what my son would say, he's right. That's my opinion.
But for convenience store food, I don't think it's too bad. But then
Not fussy.
when I eat out there, most of the sausage egg sandwiches, I like those.
I know we're working with ISG on drainage, is it something we need to look into, is back?
Wouldn't hurt to talk to
Yeah,
them.
I'm just looking at this bill, you know, they get a lot of dollars for all, maybe they're all that high.
I'm sure they're all.
Yeah, they got administrator, civil engineer one, civil engineer two, construction administrator, civil engineer, senior civil engineer.
If you look
All
through
right.
here, they have a lot of people to pay too.
No, I know, I just,
Where did I see that? But it seems to me Beck is who Main City used.
Beck is not in Rock Rapids, are they? That is,
No, that's,
DGR.
yeah.
yeah, that's who the conservation was, right?
There's also, Bolton, Maine, they have an office in Spencer, they're a lot bigger than that, but not wanting to for the papers, but my recollection of Jacobson Western, that would be, that's
Oh,
mine
yeah.
too.
Yep.
And then to go back
I
to
would,
that firm,
I would
I've really been impressed by ISG
Yep.
in comparison to those.
you're absolutely right.
O'Brien
But
County
I'm
just,
not opposed to,
O'Brien County just not sued them. That's what Nancy was telling me, that it was close.
and I've got no reason to want to move from ISG.
No, I'm just,
I don't think we have to,
I just like
Be
to know
married to
what
one
the
another.
hourly rates are.
Yeah, it'd be nice just to visit with them further.
The waters of the United States, is that a,
Ivan's gonna address
I
that.
would use,
Yeah.
I wonder, do we have to call them, they calling us?
I think he's coming in, we got drainage district later, so I figured.
I thought I signed it.
You did, but I forgot them on my desk.
is that your son that did that solo the other night, Jason, or was that your daughter? I'm trying to think.
My daughter did solo in the last game,
Okay.
my son sang with the trio.
Yeah.
during the portion of
Very good.
short story. Yeah, I was pretty proud of him. Thank you. Dad sang in it too, but you noticed the generation in between?
Yeah, well, you know, I was, actually, actually, we brought that up. My wife and I brought, I said, well, you know, there's Wayne and Jason skipped that one. Have you ever been in, Jason?
He's in it, yeah.
In the play, but I don't sing,
Oh, you don't sing?
unless they force me with the crowd or did
Maybe.
the group.
You were in it?
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
Pharisee.
From the Pharisees.
Oh. When everybody's all dressed up,
Type
you know,
cast.
it's always hectic.
That's a good, yeah.
We were sitting towards the back too, so,
Yeah, your kids did a great job. What time did you go?
so.
We went to the 5, and the last scene was they did something with the cross, so they had to, it wasn't bolted down correctly when Eric was on there.
Oh,
So
no.
the soldiers had to hold it up until
Oh.
they got that correct. It was like, oh, please don't fall.
Oh, yeah, yikes. Mhm.
Yeah, your kids did do a good job.
Thank
Do your brothers sing?
Brett was a pretty good singer, Dusty and I don't sing,
In a group.
to the benefit of others.
Yeah, I was almost wondering if it was Kathy singing right away, and then, no, it must be, because I went to just the rehearsal on Wednesday, and
practice very much, do
No.
you?
No,
2 or 3
Good tight
days or
weekend,
something,
huh?
or?
Sunday afternoon, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights.
It was nice to have a lot of people that come back so that they kinda know what's going on, but
Yeah, Jared Afterton did a really nice job.
Yeah.
So with it, 'cause
that's a
if
hard,
he picked that up Sunday, that's a hard
a
summer.
lot, yeah. And when you've had Corky and
We-
kind of a big fall.
I don't know, were you there for all of them, or just one of them, or?
No, I was in it, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, the mic wasn't on at 7 o'clock for his first
That's what my
part
wife
of him
did,
Oh.
singing that,
first.
yeah, you know. And I got about a little over halfway through, then the mic kicked in, then you could hear it. How old a kid is he?
He's a senior.
He's a senior, okay. I said, I think he's in high school, yeah, he did a good job, yeah. Very dramatic too, you know?
Well, he was leading their musical ante, so I
Oh, yeah.
figured by Friday he would be informed, but yeah, that was
Okay, yeah,
that
he
was
was
a lot
getting
to
more
catch on
about
to
that.
and be
Yeah.
ready to do in a week.
Yeah.
And maybe they got music
Yeah.
to him sooner. so
Possibly, yeah,
I'll-
for stuff like that, they might practice on their own, but he had solo ensemble stuff too, he was working on, cause he had a vocal and a trombone solo.
And trombone there, yeah, pretty good.
How you going fishing?
Said every vocal performance
Yeah,
has
that's
a
a big
solo
factor.
ensemble, got the one.
Yep, and yeah, that's ensemble too, that's good. We had a few band ones, but everyone we had one or two.
Did you need anything, Rochelle? I think I kinda got an idea if you.
I don't know, the board wanted to see, there was a board.
Yeah, I'd like to say something, quit spending all our money.
Yeah. How's everything looking there? We had quite some time on it, but, yeah.
We need a discount.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
I kinda got things in my head, I'll just kind of explain it, okay? Off the top of my head, how things went. Let's see, we went in there and started, first time we scraped on, we got all that loose stuff. Well, this time we get in there and we're scraping a little harder because a lot of that stuff was still on there. It was at that point that I knew that we're gonna have to put product over it to take care of the situation. We'll scrape as much as we can. We put this $50 bonder adhesive on there.
We talked about that, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, it's a peel stop, and basically it seals everything up and makes everything bond together. So we put that on, and at that point, and we had plaster that came out, big chunks, huge chunks. So we took all that out. We fixed the plaster, put fiber fuse on all the cracks, skimmed everything out. We're gonna get, that's gonna be a brand new seal, okay? Unfortunately, it's taken a couple extra hours, because I still got 4, was that?
2 extra hours?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You said a couple.
A couple, yeah, a few, so it was, I'm figuring it's gonna probably be 80 extra hours, but here's the thing. And we'll look at that next ceiling, it's gonna be as bad as, it's gonna be what it is, and we're only gonna see how bad it is, and once we start scraping on it and see. We can't really tell by looking at it till we actually start scraping. If it's as bad as this one, we're gonna spend 200 hours in there doing it.
The nice part there is they're gonna move out.
Yes, and that's been kind of a killer. We've had to set up in that room 3 times and going back and forth. So, I'll explain this, from the beginning, we bid the job at 770 hours, okay? And that was gonna be minimal patchwork. We figured about maybe 40 hours patchwork, fixing a couple things up. Neil's been pretty much on patchwork the whole time. I figured that with what was going on in the vault, we had a bunch of water damage in there, replaced that, sheet rock, everything. Some trim work, I still got a little piece of trim that I gotta fix over there. So he's probably got at least an extra 100 hours on patchwork. And we talked about this with Rochelle, and she said, well, we'll pull out the time for it. But if we said, okay, well, 770 plus another 100 would bring it up to 870, and then we're talking 200 hours there and 200 hours there, and that's gonna be 400, and 400 plus, that's gonna be 1,270 hours. But, going off of the hours, you know, we always like to bid a job and make a couple extra bucks if we can. We do hard work, you know, if there's an extra 20, 30 hours left on the job, you know, we split it up between us, you know. That's kinda nice, that's the way we bid jobs. That's out the window. I don't wanna come in here and say 1,270 hours, because that's quite a bit. What I'd like to do is keep that, I think, right now we got 800 hours total. And, I project that if, now, we bid each room kinda like this, 110, okay, each one of the rooms was about 110 hours to do. 30 hours for the ceiling, 80 hours for the walls, that's 2 coats for each room. This room was 80 hours, okay? And so we got this room left, which is, if we kept it bid, is 110 hours. Basically, I just wanna keep it by the hour. And I think the 80 hours that we have to finish in here, the 80 hours that Greg's gonna continue to paint in here and do what he can over there, and then additional 200 hours, it'll keep it at under 1,200 hours, if we just kept it by the hour. And we're not bidding it, and if this ceiling actually takes less time, because it's gotta take less time than that one. That one was horrible. It was really bad. So then I can keep it, below 1,200. And just keep it on the hour. The other thing was the scheduling, and I talked to Rochelle about that a little bit. The only full 2 weeks that I have to, you know, have the treasurer move out of the office and, be able to go in there and do what I need to do would be, from the 24th of April, which is, a week from next Monday, and until the 5th of May. And she said she's gonna be moved out. Well, we'll have the whole room. We don't have to set up, tear down, we're gonna probably save a bit of time. We got some patchwork on the walls and stuff in there too, and that was kind of figured, but, let's see, other than that, and then I'll come back to the recorder's office. I can do it 2 ways. I can work in the week a little bit and work while they're in there, move drop cloth around while I do that 3rd coat skim and touch it up. And then on Saturday, have the weekend, and then do my brushing down, texture it, primer, 2 coats of paint within the Friday afternoon to Sunday evening, or we shut it down for a Thursday and a Monday like we did. I come in Thursday afternoon, prep up, hang the plastic back up, and then work on it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. But I think there's probably gonna be 80 hours on it to complete it. So, and also, since, we did that much work, I have a guarantee on my work. I don't think you'll have any problems with that ceiling for a good 15, 20 years. If anything comes through, it's probably just, you know, little cracks from the plaster. Some of that stuff transfers over through time, but it was done good, and I think it was appropriate for the situation in there. So,
Good.
that's I figured I owe you guys an explanation if I'm spending your money, so. And I hope I'm not stressing Rochelle out too much, so.
Sounds good, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, shall we leave George right now for 5 minutes, because I know the engineer's here already. He's here.
He's here.
He's here. Did you think we were talking about this at the drainage portion of the meeting?
No, he's
No.
the one that wanted it during the regular. He was in the city, so I don't know if he thought he would be here this month. We can do whatever the board wants.
You want to take a quick 5 minutes right now, George?
Okay.
Because we've got a guy waiting, so.
Okay. Well, what my concern is, I'm looking at old atlases and the beginning of our county, and how it was named, Osceola County. Does anybody know who named that? And what was the reason? What was the purpose? We did our border. We created number 72. What was that for? In my opinion, it was for us people, all of us. So, we started doing atlases. This one here, the 1930. I've got the first one before the county was started in 1875. It's about that thick out my truck. I got one in 1911. I've got just about every one that I could find. This one is 1930, before the Depression. 1933, we went bankrupt. The country went bankrupt. We changed our status of our country. Then, 1978, you notice it says farm on it. We're kind of farm friendly. So again, this is about all of us. So, you're gonna do a budget. It's coming up. I asked about the budget. Rochelle gave me a copy. What is the total number it takes to run this jurisdiction of the name Osceola County? We roughly got an idea of 25 million total school. What I learned is that you're not in charge of the schools. That's wrong. We went away from what we're about to allow someone else to take care of our education jurisdiction. So with that in mind, you all 5 got districts. So there's 5 districts. So what is the numbers in your district? Can you tell me what the number is who put you in office?
Should be about 1,200 or so per, subtract off the 28 deaths we had this morning in the other report.
At 2830 to 2840 in each district.
So, what I'm asking is for you to understand that's how you got here. And by that, with our so-called Constitution, you're supposed to take an oath to defend that number. So I would think that you would certify the population of your districts with the budget, because we're part of the budget. If you think we're not part of this county, we are the creditors. We are the ones paying for this. We're the creditors. We're not debtors.
But each year when they set up each district, they have to go by population.
Yep.
That's how they divide them out.
I don't think there's anything in the budgeting process that would have a line item for you to stick that in there.
Well, I think you should start, because we're all in this. You know what it takes to pay our taxes? You think we're not working in the county doing that?
I think every one of us, I think, are working hard to pay that.
That's right. So you put it in the budget. Because it's we the people. We're not left alone. We're not better than nobody else. So does the help vote you in? They're part of the one vote. We got to rethink this. Our country is going the wrong way.
But each one, the school district, they're all voted in, cities are all voted in, so we do have something to say on each one.
That's good. But why don't we call it Osceola County School? Why is it Sibley? Who came up with that?
Because that's, well, the way it was Sibley had a school.
So it's under the jurisdiction of Sibley and Ocheyedan.
But it was Sibley had a school, Ocheyedan had a school, Melvin had a school. That's where the names came from.
And we're heading that's going to collapse. We keep on this trend, it ain't going to work. The credit ain't going to work. I'm just here to open your minds.
No, we appreciate that.
And all the kids on my end of the county go to, partly Melvin Sanborn, they all go to Melvin Sanborn, Harris goes to Harris Lake Park.
And we've got 5 different school districts in our county.
Smallest geographical county, but we have 5 school districts.
When Sibley had that swimming pool, and then they started non-resident fee. My son was 4. So they're going to have the school on non-resident fee? maybe they'll start that, because they think it's sibling. Why is it that all the rest of the schools can't make it? Why did it have to merge?
We don't have enough people.
Why is that? Why are people leaving?
That's what we have to figure out.
Start putting the numbers of your district in the budget. And the state says you can't do it, this is our jurisdiction. This is our county, this is not the state, otherwise get rid of the county. If the people don't matter, just tell us we ain't got freedom no more, tell us that we're communists. Tell the truth. That's where we're coming to.
I'm gonna go talk to Aiden now. No, thanks for your comments, though, George.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, George.
It's not bloodshed, it's visiting. And we gotta change our mindset, and the people working for us do too. They gotta understand where this comes from. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, George.
Morning.
Will we want to talk about, before the,
Yeah, we can talk about that now first, yeah.
okay.
There's one thing I forgot, I'd like to have a copy of the agenda.
Here, oh no, I guess I need that for that. Here, we can
I
share
can print you one out.
whatever. Just sit down and interviews. Because I don't think Sharon should do that by herself.
I don't know the answer to that question.
That sounds like a jack.
If she runs that office, I would think that would be
Yeah.
doing the hiring.
I don't know anything about it.
But she works for us. She's not hired. I mean, she's not elected.
Right, just have policy and, oversight of it, but, yeah, either way,
I'm
opposed to it,
I'm
but
just
I think
asking.
it's reasonable to have her do the hiring of that in that office, but.
Would it be something that Jack would go through, since you're looking for somebody with specialist skills of some
Yeah.
sort?
Yeah, there's nothing I would know about it, to be honest.
That's why I was just asking, we should think
It
about it.
probably wouldn't hurt,
Yeah.
have them review whatever Jack can, let them
Yeah.
go through and then submit them to Sharon.
That's just a question I had. What made me think of it was when she was sitting there, I thought, no, we never have talked about that.
That's probably a Jack question to see, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because I think we
he's
should.
appointed just like the engineer's office, you don't sit on those. I
No.
don't know how to answer that one.
But I guess we don't know if we don't talk about it.
Don't ask.
It was, brought up by our insurance guy that maybe it might not be a bad idea to let the shooting group just have that property from a liability standpoint, and then if they decide not to continue on with it, then it just reverts back to conservation.
I think,
Discussion worth having at some point.
yeah, I think, Nick, we got conservation night, it's been talked about. Nick's been looking into if they can actually do that. And, just like the will from Lowe's.
Yeah.
He's checking into it if they can actually give it away.
Because there really isn't anything that you can write up, even as far as a hold harmless, because the pockets for conservation aren't that deep, the next set of pockets is the counties. And
Yeah.
since what you're gonna have going on out there is shooting, somebody brought up having alcohol out there as well, and I think that would probably be something that we don't want the liability on.
That's part of the discussion. They went into great lengths on putting things in a lease for that, but now they don't know. Yeah.
Well, let me know how you turn out conservation.
Well, like I said, I've had several calls this week too about it. They wanna buy it, well, I said, if we put it up for,
You'd have to bid it.
we'd have to bid it then, if we put it up for sale.
Well, opportunity to present ulterior
Yeah,
options. I don't know if that's available in a situation like this, but there may be options.
But then we have the option of getting tax dollars off it.
Yeah, there's that too.
Not
No,
for
see-
sports, probably.
No, not from the sports center.
No, I certainly don't mind that consideration. I've talked with Nick, and I think there needs to consider both ways, but
See what their board comes up with and see what they think.
well, it was all fine, and now they're not sure if they wanna, there was a lease drawn up with rules and regulations, and now they don't know if they wanna sign that lease. It basically boils down to alcohol.
yeah.
Yeah,
We give up the land, we're gonna give up any say in that, and I would think.
Oh, I'm sure we would.
Whereas with the fair board, we've been consistent in the stance, so I guess on county property, I can see reasonably maintaining that stance, but I don't know, it's,
But since all that falls under our insurance, it'd be nice to not have the liability.
Because boy, that place sure gets used out there. Since it's been getting a little nicer, there's a lot of popping going on. You know, quite a bit of it.
Well, they're working on it, I know they just about had it done, and then the sportsmen or whoever powers the lease said, no, we're not sure we wanna do it this way. So, that's all I can tell you on it. Till I go to the meeting tonight, I don't know any more about it.
disagreement with what conservation's wanting, or
They,
disagreement with
part of their
because-
rules were, no alcohol, if we're gonna lease it to you. Just for what you said, Ed, liability for sportsman, liability for the county, and they wanted that stated in there, and, they're not thrilled about that.
They want,
I don't know how else to,
they would want alcohol out there.
yeah,
Well, that's pretty stupid in my opinion when guns go off.
well, that's what Nick kinda drew it up, but he was real good about it. He kinda said that he didn't think that was a place with the guns and
No.
stuff.
Are
I
there,
think their long-term things are, if they wanna build an event center and then have alcohol. But I don't know the problem is where do you separate that? Can you have shooting sports going on while the event center is being used for a dance or whatever, you
Yeah.
know, so, I don't know.
I don't know that they serve alcohol at any of the other shooting clubs.
No.
No, I don't think they do, because my daughter was in it, and all the
My
ones
son was
that,
in
The
Chaska.
only ones that do are private.
Yeah, that's what he had said to me,
Right.
think of one that was private.
There was one out in South Dakota that son-in-law went to that's
I thought the ones here, there was no alcohol served.
so, the conservation has been pretty hard on their stance, I give them credit for that, but,
And if they do want to build a center there, that could be two separate deals.
yeah, I
Okay.
don't. Yeah, there was an offer to buy it, well, I said, I don't think that's gonna work, because then they have to go through a bid process, you know.
But who else would want it? I don't know.
No, I don't know,
Yeah.
but, anyway,
I wouldn't want the county's name on it if there's alcohol out with it.
well, that was my comment, Mike. Because I don't care if we lease it or not, somewhere along the line, it'll come back.
Oh, yeah.
They'll come back to where the money is.
They'll name anybody they can.
Well, that was my 2 cents on that.
It's being discussed, they kinda thought it was all done, but now it's,
Cause I thought Nick said that they already got the lease signed.
well, they do, but now they did sign the lease, but now they want to know if they can get out of it. So that's, I can't tell you a whole lot more, so. Any other comments, want me to convey to them this evening?
As far as the lease, I just shared the all I got was, if we sold it, I would like language in that purchase agreement that we have the first right to purchase it back.
And I think that's what they were talking, it would revert back to the county. Yep. Okay.
We should be seeing a 2080 coming from the mental health region. It's just to identify mental health advocate for Worth, Winnebago, and Cassuth. just kind of a new arrangement that retirement caused, and we've got one identified for the three on this side. Really nothing major, but just needs all families to give their approval, so that should, I would guess it'll be at the next meeting.
Anything else?
I'll make a motion.
I've got a motion for the last thing on the agenda. Do we have support?